So I've done a video on Zelda, I've done one on Donkey Kong, I've done one on just a bunch of Nintendo products of what we can see on E3, but let's specifically look now at Metroid and maybe what we can expect to see from Metroid this year at E3 that Nintendo might get to show us. Are we going to see a 2D Metroid? Is the Prime Trilogy finally going to get announced? And are we going to finally get some news on Metroid Prime 4? All those, let's just go over that here. And if this is your first time on the channel, welcome! I'm Falcon Zero. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, throw that massive sword in the notification bell, and with that underway, let's talk about Metroid and what Nintendo might show us this year at E3. So yes, Metroid does have an anniversary this year, but it's not as big as Pokemon's anniversary or Zelda's anniversary or even Donkey Kong or Mario's anniversary. It's Metroid, but that doesn't mean that I don't think Nintendo's not going to notice it either. I do think this year we actually finally are going to get an update on Metroid Prime 4. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a 2021 game, but you know what? I think it would fit nicely for that 2022 release in there. Like we already know Pokemon's Legends Arceus is going to be a 2022 game. Splatoon 3 is already in that, and if you put Metroid Prime 4, 2022 would start looking like a pretty good year on that as well, because it's like for the games that we already do know that are coming out in 2022, if Metroid Prime 4 goes in there, that year starts looking solid, and I'm sure there's even more games on top of that as well. It is also a little funny how it works though, as we've already gotten the trailer for the Legends of Arceus and a release date window, and Metroid Prime 4 got announced almost at this point 4 years ago here, and it's like we still don't know the release date for this window, but at this E3, I do think we're going to be seeing it here. What I want to see from Metroid Prime 4 is I want to see a release date as at least just a year. They don't have to put on the exact month, but if it's coming out in 2022, maybe hint at that a little bit. I actually finally also want to see a little bit of gameplay here. Maybe some mechanics have changed, like I'm sure stuff has. Maybe like show us a little bit of gameplay of Metroid Prime 4, like a little tease of what we're going to see now. You know, like we've already gotten the title, we know you guys have been working on it. I feel like it's enough time now at least to show us something that Retro Studios has been working on with Metroid Prime 4. And rumor has it that Mercury Steams is working on a new 2D Metroid game, and I don't necessarily not think that's true, but then again, if all these rumors are true, that's a lot of Metroid, because if we have the Prime Trilogy and this 2D Metroid game and Metroid Prime 4, and let's just say Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year, that's a lot of Metroid, and Metroid's not on the same scale of Pokemon, Zelda, or Mario. That's a lot of Metroid to dump in there, so I was like, where would they really space all those games out there? Because at the end of the day, Nintendo looks at it too though. Like, if they did like a Mario Party, a Mario Kart, and this 3D Mario game, yeah, those are all gonna sell. If you just dump 3 Metroid games in there though, they're not going to sell as much. So like it's hard to think that all 3 of these really could be happening or are all true at the same time too though, because I doubt in like a 2-year, maybe even a 3-year span that we get 3 Metroid games. Not saying it can't happen, I'm just saying it's unlikely. And as for me with the 2D Metroid, as cool as it would be, even if it's Samus Returns coming, that was a 3DS game and they put that on the Switch, I think a 2D Metroid game is more likely than Samus Returns. But I'm not totally sold on the 2D Metroid as of yet. And that's because I'm sold more on the fact that we're getting Metroid Prime Trilogy. I think that would be a better lead up to the Metroid Prime. It would help it out a little bit more. If you haven't played the first 3 games, they're going to put the trilogy here on the Switch. It might have already been done, and Nintendo might be sitting on this game right now too, and because Metroid Prime 4 got delayed, this got pushed back. You know, and but who knows, it's not even confirmed if this is actually a game in development. I just feel like it's more likely that Metroid Prime Trilogy is going to happen than a 2D Metroid game, and if they do all 3 of these things as well, that would be really cool. I just think the Metroid Prime Trilogy has a better shot of being an actual real game than the 2D Metroid point, but you know what, that's just my opinion as well. I'm sure you guys will also have your opinions in there, but I just feel like that Metroid Prime Trilogy, I just really want it too though, but I also feel like that's a better shoe-in to also lead us up to Metroid Prime 4 and help the sales of Metroid Prime 4. But then again, it's Nintendo, so who knows what could happen. You know what if they just drop Metroid Prime Federation Force 2? And that would just blow us all away and probably make us pretty upset if that was the case, because of all these rumors of Metroid Prime Trilogy and a 2D Metroid Prime game, and then they drop Federation Force. that would be funny but also upsetting at the same time. But I would love to know what you guys think though. What kind of Metroid do you think we're going to be seeing this year at E3? Do you think we're going to get the 2D Metroid game? Do you think we're going to get the Prime Trilogy and Metroid Prime 4 news? Or do you think we're going to get nothing at all? Leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please smash that like button as it really does help out. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit that notification bell to stay up to date with more videos like this. And as always, everyone of YouTube, show me your moves.